Free fall, which is skydiving. The other airborne, I don't know if you guys know the difference, but static line, airborne is static line. You hook it onto the aircraft, jump out, it pulls your chute. Military free fall is you jump out and fly, and then you pull your ripcord. That's fun. And then you got military scout swimmer, scuba, avalanche analysis and forecasting. This is one of our big ones. Like the Colonel was saying earlier about the snowstorms, that sort of thing. We'll go forward in austere environments and do like avalanche forecasts. We'll dig pits and assess the snow stability, and that's a big thing. And then as well, we do riverine analysis and forecasting. There's a school down in Mississippi with the Marine Navy, excuse me, and we learn how to, go to certain rivers, and then we'll do analysis of the water, the current, the stability, the soil. Soil samples. We'll do all that. We learn all that stuff there. And the big picture with all this stuff is, the reason they send us forward to do this is for future operations. We go there, we do our assessments, and we come back to the generals, and we're like, hey, no, this is not good. And I mean, that's some of the stuff we do. And then we also small unmanned aircraft systems, as you guys saw over there earlier. And so that's all that training. And then this is actually what we do. We do environmental collection, and I kind of hit on it a little bit. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to just stop me and I'll answer questions. Or if you have any questions about what's on the screen. Like I said, we do the terrain analysis. Not only do we do like riverine analysis like I described, but we'll go to certain locations, for future operations or just, random points that may be useful down the road, and we evaluate the terrain, and then we write, we do the report, and then we give to, the higher ups. Avalanche hazard, talked about that. The small unmanned aircraft systems, we use that sometimes to do like a riverine, just to get like an idea. Now, this is a perfect example, downrange in some African nations, you can't get access to rivers. So what we'll do is we'll use that to take pictures and run the river, and then we can go back and do some assessment. And then our big thing is actual austere airfield weather operations. Like I said, with Rangers and combat control, we jump in, just like the Colonel said in Haiti. They had air traffic controllers, which were the combat controllers, and then us doing weather for the airfield operations. We do that. So that way, we're at the airport, and airports need weather. So that's why we're there. And we do all that. And then that limited data forecasting, nowcasting, mission execution. The big thing what we do is, and I'll give you an example. Like when I just recently got back from Afghanistan, and my main thing to do, I was deployed with Special Forces, and what I would do is I would do their weather for their missions. And then, so I would find the right time. And then they would push me forward near the objective. And what I would do is I'd do observations. And a lot of times in these areas, there's not a lot of weather data. So what I'm doing is I'm using that, and then through consistency, I'm making forecasts. And then as well, before the mission kicks off, they have to have good weather. And in the areas where I was, did not have good weather. So I had to make a couple go, no-go calls. I mean, that's what we do. And as you can see, we have the weather sensors. These things right here. And then we also have a pie ball. You guys know what that is? Yeah. This is actually a little pie ball. It's not that big chunky thing. It's about the size. It's about this big. It uses a small balloon, and it just uses our laptop with a little antenna. It's not that big chunky thing with a 1,000-gram helium balloon, but and then up top, taking weather observations, another weather sensor. Over there in the right corner, the way that I get I take these observations, I do these forecasts, And then what I'll do is I send it back via SATCOM on my computer through the radio. And so, any questions? No? So forward, basically this, you guys can, yes, ma'am.
Are you increasing your studies of northern Africa? You mentioned the riverine explorations. Has that stepped up in the last couple of years, or has it been steady for the last couple of decades?
It's been steady. So,
Thank you.
okay. As you can see, one of the big things, establishing SOF, everyone knows SOF, Special Forces, Special Operation Forces. Working with indigenous, setting up weather networks, just like they did in, Yugoslavia, Laos, that sort of thing. I mean, weather's pretty important. A lot of times commanders don't think about it, but it is. And to have these weather networks set up with indigenous personnel is, that's a good thing. Teaching them how to take weather observations, which I have done, I came up with a little PowerPoint and taught ANA forces, so it's pretty interesting. Weather site surveys. Does anybody have any questions on this line? No? All right, any questions in general? All right, well, thank you. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day.